partnership agreements between Kenya and the United Kingdom. I had a chat with her at the British High Commission, and apart from trade and economic issues that we talked about, we shared on the resolutions of the Global Climate Summit COP26, which she attended. Here's more. British Trade Envoy to Kenya, Madam Theo Klarke, many thanks for finding time for us on KTN News. We really appreciate it. Kindly talk to us about your role as a trade envoy to this part of the world.
Well, I'm delighted to be back in Nairobi. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, asked me to come back to Kenya to reaffirm our commitment to this country. My role as Trade Envoy is to promote British businesses to invest in Kenya. We have a very strong and proud trading relationship, which amounts to nearly 200 billion Kenyan shillings. And I was delighted that last year we were able to sign the new economic partnership agreement. We're nearly 1 year on from the EPA, and I think it's a testament to our commitment to this region and this country that we have so many British products being sold in Kenya and vice versa. And I think the example I always use most is about British tea. I think it's 1 in 2 cups of tea in the UK is from Kenya. And I know that tea amounts to about 40% of your exports. So for me, this is a critical market, and I'm absolutely here to meet with British businesses in Kenya and to speak with your government to find out how we can support you to grow our economic development here.
Great. So you had a visit at the tea processing zones of Kenya. What is the experience like?
Well, it was fantastic to get out into the regions. Every trip I come to Kenya, I try and visit a new region of the country. Yesterday, I was in Kisumu, and it was fantastic to visit one of the tea farms and to hear directly from British businesses investing here. I think that's one of our strongest area for exports. 40%, as I said, of UK tea is from Kenya. And I really hope that we can continue to grow that market and ensure that Kenyan tea is being enjoyed back in the UK.
Fair enough. So let's talk about the EPAs that Kenya signed with the UK. Let's take stock of 1 year since inception. How has it been like?
Well, first of all, I really congratulate Kenya for all the work that they've done with our government on getting the EPA over the line. I've just had a bilateral with your Cabinet Secretary, Betty Minor, to talk about the next steps. And some of the things we're looking at, firstly, is to make sure that the EPA Council is set up. And we're very hopeful that we'll have very soon, in the next few months, the first meeting of our officials to ensure that we are implementing the EPA. So for me, that was a priority of my trip, to meet with your Trade Secretary and ensure that the implementation of the agreement is going ahead. And I'm very positive about what benefits that can bring both for the UK and for Kenya.
What are some of the opportunities that traders in Kenya can take advantage of in the UK?
Well, I've met so many entrepreneurs in Kenya on various visits to the country, and there's tremendous opportunities for you to sell your goods to the UK market. On my previous visit as Trade Envoy, I visited Lake Naivasha, and I went to see some of the fruit and flower farms for myself, to see literally package some of the green beans and fantastic produce that was being sent back to London. And for me, that really is a great example of how excellent Kenyan goods are being sold and exported back to the UK. And for me, that's a win-win for both countries, as it's creating lots of jobs here in Kenya, but also creating jobs back at home in my constituency and across the UK. Finally,
you are at COP26. Talk to us about your biggest take-homes there.
Yeah, so I've literally just come to Kenya, having been at the Climate Change Summit. It was fantastic to be in Glasgow for several days. In fact, I did meet the Kenyan delegation, which was one of the largest at the climate change negotiations. I think I'm right in saying the largest delegation in Africa to have come to Glasgow. And I think we've made tremendous progress already in getting global agreements on things like deforestation, reduction in methane emissions. There's lots more to do. I know my Prime Minister has gone back to COP to make sure we get those final agreements over the line. And if I could just commend Kenya for the work that you've done, particularly on your commitment to zero carbon emissions. I've just been today at the British High Commission at an event on electric vehicles. And for me, that's a fantastic example of where Kenya is taking the lead on green energy, and that's something we want to work and partner with you on going forward. So I hope this is the start of a great new partnership on green energy, and we can support Kenya in its ambitions to transition to be a net zero economy.